For this lesson, we're doing Module 5, Lesson 7. We're going to start with question B, which has a tape diagram that has been originally split in half. One out of two pieces of that fraction has been shaded, so I'm going to write that up top. What we are trying to figure out is how many pieces has it been broken up into, and how many are shaded now. So I'm going to write my original fraction on the side, which is 1/2. So if we look, just going to outline in blue what originally was here. So there were two pieces, and we can see that the left side was shaded. Now, we're going to look to see how many pieces this picture was split up into. So, looking at the lines, we can see that the tape diagram was split two additional times to give us a total of 3 rows. This is 1 row, this is 2 rows, this is 3 rows. Now, what we're trying to figure out is what fraction we have now. Now, to first do that, we need to figure out how many total pieces we have. So, I'm just going to count by writing right inside of the tape diagram. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have a total of 6 pieces. And now for our numerator would be how many pieces we have shaded. We have 3. So we know 1/2 equals 3/6. We're now going to prove it using some multiplication like we've been doing in our previous lessons. So we're going to take 1/2 times some number. Now, whatever the numerator, the denominator needs to be the same, and it's going to equal 3/6. So we need to ask ourselves, going across the top line, kind of like any kind of problem we want to solve, is what is the missing part? So we have 1 times something equals 3. The answer is 3. If we put a 3 on the top in our numerator, remember we must put a 3 on the bottom of our denominator. 2 times 3 equals 6, so it works. So again, 1/2 is equal to 3/6, and we have proven that with the tape diagram and with our multiplication. For the next question, we're going to set it up in a very similar way. Just going to start by outlining what was already created for us. So we can see right now we have 2 parts, so I have a denominator of 2. And what part is shaded? 1 out of 2 parts is shaded. Now we're trying to figure out what our new fraction is. So again, we have 1/2 is our original fraction. We're going to break it up using the lines they made. So we're going to count. They made 1 row, 2, 3, 4, and 5 rows. Now, this time we're actually going to find our numerator first, which is how many parts are shaded. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is going to be my numerator. Now my denominator again is how many total pieces I have. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1/2 is equal to 5/10. Now, I will need to prove this using multiplication now. So I'm going to start with 1/2 times some number, and this is how I'm going to set all of these up, equals whatever that equivalent or equal fraction is supposed to be. Now I need to ask myself, 1 times what equals 5? The answer is 5. If I put a 5 in my numerator, I need to put a 5 in my denominator. If I wanted to check it again, I could go 2 times 5 to see, does that equal 10? It does. So again, we've proven it with the tape diagram, and we've proven it with multiplication. 1/2 is equal to 5/10. As we go on this year, you may use whatever method works best for you. In part D, we have a tape diagram that has been 1 part shaded, and I'm not sure how many parts I have right now. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write my original fraction. So I know my numerator is 1. I have 1 shaded. Now I'm going to count to see how many total pieces I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You do not actually have to put the dots. I'm just putting the dots down below so you can see that I'm actually counting the boxes. So right now I have 1/7. I need to find some kind of equivalent fraction to 1/7. Now, I could break it in half like we've done in a lot of the questions. I'm going to break each of these into 3 more rows. So I'm going to make 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows. So again, 1, 2, 3 rows. Now, I could come over and do my multiplication first, but I actually don't want to. For this one, we're going to go ahead and count the pieces. So the first thing I'm going to do is find my denominator. That's the total number of pieces I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So I know my denominator is going to be 21. Notice how I gave myself a little room to write my numerator. So 1/7 equals, we know my denominator is going to be 21. Now I count how many pieces I've shaded. 1, 2, 3. So 1/7 is equal, or that word equivalent, to 3 21s, or 3 21st. Now, to prove it, we're going to use multiplication like we always do. So 1/7 times some number equals 3 21st. Now, I'm going to show you a trick for this part. We notice we made 1, 2, 3 rows. So when I multiply, I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by 3 because I've made 3 rows. Now, if I check it to see if this trick works, 1 times 3 is 3, 7 times 3 is 21, so another way to find this. So if you think about how many rows you have, that could be the number that you multiply the top, the numerator, and the denominator by to find your answer. So just another quick rule. One thing I want to draw attention to is these brackets I have. Make sure whenever you have a bracket, you label your original fraction on the top and your new fraction, your new equal or equivalent fraction on the bottom. You also need to show a bracket on both parts. So tomorrow in class, we'll work on the rest of this, remembering to label our brackets and breaking apart our pictures. Feel free to put the numbers right inside the tape diagram like I did if that helps you.